If you look at design checking is a process of validating the design, okay, design calculations to ensure that it is error free and is of good quality and it is good for engineering or for fabrication or whatever the end use is. So it is overall checking of the design to ensure it is suitable for fabrication. Then checking also, if you look at the definition, it is a process of adding value, okay, into the good engineering practices, aesthetics, reduction in cost. So this is something which is expected from engineering. So engineering design. So checking of that design will help us to achieve those things. So design checklist is prepared for each important design process, or you can say for important deliverables, to aid in design checking. So this is basic definition why and what is design checking, what is the importance of design checking. There are so many things associated with the design. Downstream of design, the outcome of design will be used for so many other activities where a lot of cost will be involved, so that makes it very important. So now we just looked into the definitions, but if you see why the design checking is required, it ensures that all the deliverables, whether these are drawings or calculations, are error free. Okay, we spent a lot of time into preparation of these deliverables, so we want to make sure these are error free, and we will ensure that all these drawings or calculations are appropriate, are based on appropriate design standards and codes. All the standard and code requirements are met. If not, then we have to justify those things. So we have to ensure these are in line with those requirements. Then we have to ensure that consistency in design is there. Consistency means if we are following some guideline at one place, then it has to be consistent throughout the project, right? So that is one of the major requirements. Then we want to ensure that the optimization with respect to design and cost is done, right? There will be a lot of cost will be involved, so we want to optimize that with the help of design standards, codes, requirement, and at the same time design checking also helps us into that. Then we want to utilize these design outputs for fabrication at site, so we want to reduce the rework. So once we check it, we make sure these are meeting all the standards, all the code requirements, these are consistently followed throughout the design, then it makes reduction in rework at site, which is really very costly. So this is why we go for checking of design. Now let us see whatever we do are checking, against what we can check it. There are few things which we need to use as a reference so that we can compare it and we can ensure that all the requirements are met. So first of all the applicable codes and standards. We need to understand what are the clauses, what are the requirements. We have to fulfill that. We have to check against these requirements. Then there will be a lot of design documents, for example, P&ID, line list, general arrangement drawings. So we need to ensure that all the requirements mentioned there are fulfilled or not. For example, stress isometrics, when we are issuing those, we need to understand what is their requirement, right? Whether it is met or not. Then there are statutory norms and regulations, for example, OISD and IBR. All these norms we need to understand first. Then we need to check whether these are met in our deliverables or not. Then safety, HSC requirement, constructability factors. So first we need to understand what these are for a particular project. We have to list it out. Then we need to check our deliverables against all the requirements with respect to these. So these are few of the things which we need to understand, and we check against these, against in the sense whatever requirements are coming from these, we need to ensure that these are captured in the deliverables. Now let us look at why, for what thing we are checking, what we want to achieve. Deliverables without any error, that is the first agenda with respect to the inputs provided. Then we want to make sure that fabrication is there, shipping is there, erection is there. Okay, we want to make their life easy. Then of course we want to reduce the material and fabrication costs. This is something which directly help us to optimize the overall cost. Then there should be some flexibility into the design, right? So that if any critical change is there, that has to be absorbed. Then we need to ensure that the design is consistently same, so it is very easy for understanding at later stage of the project. Also we want to make aesthetically good, right? All the layouts, all the drawings, all the design deliverables, all should be aesthetically better. Then this design checking helps us in achieving these things. So we are doing the checking for these activities. Now design checking will demand for a lot of effort, right? There will be a lot of stakeholders who will be responsible, accountable, right, for delivering and for checking also. So there should be a responsibility matrix which defines individual's responsibility, and everybody knows that who is going to check and who is going to deliver, who is going to sign it, right? So this defines who is going to check. Every individual need to check, sign, dates, then it passes to the next individual. So this cycle has to be defined, that is defined in the responsibility matrix. So any calculation or drawings received for checking, right, without a sign or date shall not be entertained or accepted. If somebody receives a document without sign, that means he can claim that the individual who has prepared or who has checked prior to that was not actively involved into the checking, right? Once you receive signature on that, it makes him accountable. Along with that, backups of holds and assumptions has to be prepared, okay, before issuing the document. This is also one of the responsibilities. When we are checking something, we'll come across so many assumptions, so many holds. We have to list it down and we have to publish it. Signed and dated checklist, completely filled out, is a must for any checked document. There will be a lot of checklists prepared for a particular deliverable. So once we are signing it, we are checking it, we have to fill that checklist, and we can attach that checklist as a proof that these are the points which have been checked for that particular deliverable. Then the ultimate responsibility of quality and correctness lies with the lead. Okay, who is going to sign that particular document in the end? That means this person's responsibility is to ensure, to enforce that all the procedures, quality procedures, are followed. So that means we can say checking is a collaborative effort. Each individual owns and is accountable for an error-free and quality product. This is something which is desired from whole checking process. So what we are trying to convey here, there should be a responsibility matrix. Everybody should know who is going to prepare, who is going to check, who is going to sign, and what are the requirements which need to be fulfilled.